All right, here we go with Business Internet Mastery Training. And guess what? It is our season finale. Season 3 is coming to a close. I want to make sure that a huge life lesson in my life, especially in the last year, and as I've trained and coached other entrepreneurs, other thought leaders, even service-oriented businesses, this has been everything towards their, growing for one thing, but coming out of a stagnation in many ways in terms of their businesses. And I just want to make sure we're going over this conversation. Had it in 2 coaching calls this week, and we've got to own this. So I'm going to use some really powerful illustration, one of which is what I'm wearing here. Hopefully it's looking good. Is this band, Lilac, the Christeas, I think that's how you say their last name. All these kids, brothers and sisters, are related, and they've really built over the last, I want to say the last decade, even though a few of them are real young, like in the 10, 11, 12 range, have built an incredible band. And they have a music video, their latest video, Nothing, which is on YouTube. They filmed in their house under isolation. They changed their living room into a video shoot. And it's unbelievable to see what they came with. I'll make sure to link that below. Here's the reason why it's important. And we're going to go over the illustration in a moment, is that when we think about growing a business, there's a couple moving parts to it. And here's the thing I know. I've gone through times, I'm trying not to give the word away, where I've gone out and created, built, maintained relationships with something we've built. And during those times, because what I've created is based on recurring revenue, I've only had to do that in pockets of time. And we've been able to sustain our business, as I taught way early in our trainings, starting from scratch. We talked about breaking even. We've been able to hit break even and exceed break even through many campaigns, if you will, of where I've gone out and built relationships saying we can help you. I'm trying not to give it away for you. But the premise of this is, how do you assess what to do and how to do growing your business? If your drive is continually over the long term, that's a piece. The beauty is if you have recurring revenue, and I'm a model of this for you, you do not have to be doing the work of growing your business all the time. You should be, but you don't have to be. And I got to tell you, there's times, and it's happened pretty recently too, where I'm not in the mood to grow the business. I'm in the mood to take care of what I got. And because it's recurring revenue based, I can do that and live a really good life, right? But there's a drive for me, as we'll get into in just a moment, to live even more purposefully with the beautiful library of content we've created. And now it's time. So a couple of things coming up for our mastery community. And the first thing is we're going to be starting what we call the lab. And you have to apply to get in, and you have to watch some training and do some things in order to even be a candidate for being in the lab. And what the lab's about is a weekly session where we're actually in the trenches working on scale. Be a big part of today's conversation. What does scale mean? It means putting out content in the world that generates awareness, that generates leads, meaning people giving us an email address, a phone number, calling us, contacting us, or purchasing, so a sale, things that we've created, right? And we have so much of a library that's helped in a way of approaching the library of content we've created in the last 3 years. We're going into our 4th year next month. That's why it's the season finale. Oh, I can't even believe it. Thank you so much for helping, being part of this co-creation, rocking it out, kind of informing us where we need to go through the check-in sessions, through the time with you and our mastery community, just understanding here's what I need the most help with. This came up as a major topic today. I had something else completely scheduled, but you know what? This is much more important with what's pertinent right now and the opportunities we have, because as of the recording of this, we're in isolation. Well, we should be in isolation. Today, for example, record was set with total new cases of that beautiful coronavirus in the state of Florida. Over 11,000 cases already confirmed today. And today's, I don't know, it's not even half over yet. So I just want to make sure you are on cue with A, there's a lot of opportunity out there right now. B, I like to think of this as the dashboard, if you will, of the things you need to pay attention to. We'll break that down for you. Before we get into any of that, 2 more things. Thank you so incredibly much for being part of this journey. to allow me to help you. I love to help improve your life, grow your business, to care for you, take care of you, unconditionally love you. To talk a lot about that. It's a big part of why I believe I've been able to maintain clients 10, 20 years in the land of high performance coaching. 3 or 4 one-on-one clients now are multiple years. 2 of them are almost 6 years with me. Re-enrolling, a couple times every year actually. And just making sure that I'm living into these principles and that we're going after that next level of growth. And a lot of what we're going to cover today are things that you can take with you. So for example, if you just purchased the Business Internet Monthly Mastery Training Season 3, and this is all you got, this is the catalyst for you forever. That's my goal with this training, is to be the catalyst for you forever. Second thing, I want to make sure that we start with those beautiful 5 Ps. And more now than ever, for you to have depth, emotional connection, emotional fuel, catalyst, with what these Ps are for you. So extra challenge for you if you haven't done it yet. With each of the Ps, as we review them, take some time and assess. Do I need to dedicate a page? Maybe it's an actual piece of paper with 1 P on each. So 5 pieces of paper with 1 P on each. And just journal, think through what it means for me now to live into that P. That being said, let's start with the first P, purpose. To live purposefully. I have to tell you, and I kind of touched on this in our earlier training today, in our Health, Wealth, and Happiness training. Once I got clear on what it was for me and what my future vision is for how I want to serve, help, and be in the world, it became incredibly easy for me to step into it. It was kind of like I did the visioning work and I really got emotively connected to it, and it just course corrected my behaviors. Like pulled me to be a better entrepreneur, better person for you. Does that make sense? Kind of like, this may be some of the symptoms that you're hearing, especially along the topic of business not growing. I know what I got to do. I figured it out. I'd rather just do something else. Rather just sit here. Usually when that happens, not always, but usually, people do not have enough emotional depth and connection with what the changes they can make for others are with the beautiful work that they have to do and put in the world. Do you follow? So my challenge for you out of the gate, and we talk about this a lot. If you've watched our previous trainings, you know purpose in the sense of what we're going through from an entrepreneur, small business, service-oriented business, big business, whatever it is understanding how we improve people's lives somehow, how we may help others grow their business somehow, how we exchange value. They pay us, we give them value, and there's a constant evolvement of that value as they go through time. That's the reason I believe that so many people have renewed for high performance coaching with me. There's a whole nother level of value coming. There's a whole nother level of value exchange. And they are going somewhere in their life or in their business or both, and I'm helping them get there faster. Thinking things through, looking around corners they don't see or just aren't aware of or they forgot about. So this is a big part of this conversation, and I hope this is helping you in line of what we're going to cover today. So I'd love for you to think about. And today we don't have to rate, but what I would challenge you to do instead of rating how well you've been doing in the last month for living purposefully is to think through, what is it now for me to do to feel more purposeful, to live more purposefully? And my challenge for you, as I talked about a moment ago, is to think about, okay, maybe 1 page in Evernote. To live purposefully now, I'm ... or I'm committed to ... Open journal to it. Every day, 5 minutes in the morning with your cup of coffee, just add to it. I'm committed to reaching out to 3 people today, telling them I'm thinking of them, and saying, we just get on a call. I'd love to catch up. As we know in the land of what I teach, this is an opportunity to serve. Every interaction is an opportunity to serve. And often, if you have a clear path for them, they may say, Charly, I need a lot of help with X. And I'll say, tell me about that. What does it look like if you get that help? What's your world? How is your world different because of the help you could get? I can actually help you there, or I can't, depending on what it is. And would you like some help from me? Boom. Possible sale. And it's not coming in a place I got to sell people. That's not where I come from. I come from a place I'm living purposefully. The sales happen automatically. Does that make sense? The whole different realm. And it really reduces what a lot of entrepreneurs, especially those in our master community, have sensed and shared, that I don't like to sell. You're not. You're just exchanging value and helping them grow, be better, do whatever it is, along the lines of what you're proficient at. Cool? So purpose, no rating, just thinking through. Next is passion. Again, another page in a journal, another piece of paper, another note in Evernote, whatever that is for you, another page in Word or a document. To feel passionate about life and my business now, I'm committed to. So let's break it down. What is passion? Emotional connection and engagement, enthusiasm, energy towards that. So a couple illustrations for me. I'm passionate about seeing smiles on people's faces. So I'm going to the sensory with this, and that may be helpful for you in your work. I'm passionate about hearing people say, Char, I did it. I made my first sale. Put up my first page. I did my first email blast. Thanks for your help. So I'm talking audio. I'm talking visual. These kind of things. Talking feelings. That all make sense? So if you're at a blank here with what to put on that piece of paper, think through the senses. What do you want to hear? What do you want to see? What do you want to feel? Emotionally, tactically. What do you want to smell? What do you want to taste? Cool. Next up, positive, joyful. To feel more positive and joy in my life or in my business or both, I'm committed to ... And again, open journal to that every day. Just the act of doing that in the morning, what does it bring? Energy flows where attention goes. It brings more joy into our morning because we're in the conversation in our head. You sense it? Boy, if you have more joy in the morning, what a great way to start. Especially in light of some of the headlines that are going on, if you happen to check the news. If you subtract news and put in journaling around joy, how are you going to start your day, right? As an entrepreneur, that's everything. Next up, productivity. Now, context here, productivity in the land of high performance isn't just getting more done. It's going after our life's work, our life's dreams, our life's projects, as well as handling our responsibilities. So in the lens of that, on your piece of paper, one page for productivity or your note or whatever that is, what are you committed to? To be more productive in life and business, I'm committed to ... And then open journal, 5 minutes a day. Come on, if you cannot afford 5 minutes a day, we've really got to have a conversation. This is towards the betterment of you and what you do in the world. So to be more productive, as we're stepping into what we call the lab and all these things that we're doing to go to scale, I'm dedicated time, energy, and effort to being aware of new behavioral patterns that I got to introduce on a daily basis around this. I don't monitor Facebook ads right now. That's something my team does for our customers. I need to get into the rhythm of monitoring, creating, seeing Facebook ads, seeing what's working, what isn't, and sharing it with you as we move through that time. That's a new rhythm that I know I have to do, a new part of my productivity. And then finally, profit. And as I said earlier, it isn't about making sale. It's about living into these things that lead itself to that. We've talked at length about this in our work this season, in the sense that what are we doing to stir up conversation here? What's the arc of that conversation? Talking to struggle, 35 struggle points, pivoting the conversation to the ambition. Hey, what's possible for you? Saying, here's the struggle, here's the ambition. Are you clear on that path to get there? No? Oh, I can help you get there faster. Would you like to learn about that? Would you like some help? And then giving them options. And then giving them 3 big moves to start. I gave you guys, or gave the mastery community, the template for the email that I've used to create millions in sales over the last decade. And it's just exactly what I just shared in a written format after a 20-minute call. And it lends it right to the next steps. I like to think of it like I'm your concierge for helping you through this massive mountain of content we've created and making sure we're getting the right pieces dialed in the right order. So if you're struggling with all the stuff we got in our mastery community and our products and programs, don't worry about it. Just say, hey, Char, I'm struggling with this. My job is to direct you. I'm putting together a guide for that so it can help you, inform you. If you're struggling with this, watch this, this, and this. If you're struggling with this, watch this, this, and this. But for now, just reach out to me because that's informing me of making the guide. So I just want to make sure to live more profitably in my life and in my business, I'm committed to That's the journaling exercise. So I hope we've kicked this off. I'd love to know if you do the journaling work. Oh wait, when you do the journaling work, challenging your character here, when you do the journaling work, please share it with me. You don't have to share it in public by any means. If you want to, that'd be awesome. You can share it in our Facebook group, but definitely share it with me and we will go through it. And I'll help you tune it and like challenge you a little bit and really craft this thing so that you can really feel the emotional connection and sensory to why it's important to you to live into that towards growing your business. And more importantly, growing your business consistently over the long term. So here's the premise as we step out of the 5P conversation and we step into the training conversation. Business not growing, here's why and exactly what to do. Everybody who's generated, I would even say mega success, because I'm going to go over a couple of these ideas illustratively for you. But even people who are on the cusp of creating success right now recognize this conversation between, dun dun dun, these two words. Please get your notes out. Please write these words down. Creation versus promotion. I'm going to say it again, really critical you get these words out. Creation versus promotion. So I'm getting chills just telling you this, because I went over this off the cuff in a coaching call. When you get into coaching and you're in your 3,800 session, I don't know where I'm at exactly, I know it's over 3,000. These illustrations just come to you, like, at least for me, they're just downloads, and I'm telling it. And I'm like, did that work? Because I don't know if it resonates or not until I ask at the end of our coaching calls. I always ask, what did you really get from today's work? What did you love in our session today? And this person and then a couple other people said, that I needed to hear. I didn't even think of it that way. Could you train on that? That's why we're here right now. So here's what we know. And I'm going to start this illustratively and then we'll dive into the training. The biggest band, well, one of the biggest bands, Guns N' Roses. Another big band, Metallica. A mega thought leader, writer, author, Brendan Burchard. This band, Liliac, they all understand the creation versus promotion conversation. So a lot of the people in our mastery community are Brendan Burchard fans like I am. Got to spend a lot of time with him 2017, 2018, and talked to him at length about things. He helped me kickstart the mastery community. A huge thank you to my man Brendan and our mentor for really helping me and so many others. All of the people that I seem to work with are Brendan based, or I've worked with him, or I've turned him onto them. Understand, and this is a conversation I had with Brendan in 2017 about Total Product Blueprint, the first product he created, and I think it was in 2010 or 2009, maybe 2011, where he did multi-million-dollar in sales from it. And he goes, Char, the light bulb kicked when I recognized I had to create the product in creation mode, and then I had to promote it. But it was the ratio that I had to do that. If you followed him or know the story, he took time, and I think he said it was like 2 or 3 months to create and refine Total Product Blueprint version 1, which was his main flagship course, online course at the time. And then he promoted it for almost a year. And it wasn't like he tried to promote it here and there. He literally tested, measured, researched, and developed different avenues for promotion. Every week was a new challenge. How am I going to promote this week? What am I going to do? And it was severe focus and dedication that he took for that. Think about the ratios of what I just shared. Create for 2 months, promote for 1 year. Create for 2 months, promote for 12 months. It's like a fifth of your time or a sixth of your time is in creation. The rest, 5, 6, or whatever the math is, 4/5, is in promotion. So here's the before and the after for you. And let me type this in. I hope this is helping. Wait till we get into some of the details here. Whoops. This is going to really help you because you got to understand what avenues you can use to promote and what you need to create that's world class. So in the old days, for me, it was this kind of thing. And all of this represented the big C. And all of this, and I'm putting it in green for a reason, represented the big P. I'm going to create. Oh, and then I'll promote. Dinky little slice of pie. Now, because what I was promoting was recurring revenue based, I was able to promote for a short period of time and then ride the wave of subscription. Does that make sense? How did I promote our web marketing report and action plan in 2010 that resulted in multiple millions in sales, and it's still producing quite a bit of sales, half a million a year or something like that. Maybe it's 300K a year is what it's producing. We did the math pretty recently. Still producing that off promoting that in 2010, 2011, 12, and then I stopped. So let me tell you the story of this. And I really want you to get this because this is critical for business growth. Is when you have, and we've taught this in season 3, so if you need more help, we'll go back through some of the trainings here at the end of our time together today, just to kind of reminisce and celebrate the season 3 training. You have to think about, what am I promoting that has legacy, length, continuation, rebill, subscription, recurring revenue to it? And how can I really take a dedicated amount of time, go after promoting that, and just blast it so that I get that recurring revenue equal to or in excess of my break even, which we talked about in session 1 of season 3 of our mastery, business internet mastery training. You see what I'm saying here? But here's what we know, and here's what Brendan is doing right now. He hasn't been creating new courses. He's been repackaging his existing creations and running launches on them with new marketing on the front end. He just did, and this is as of this recording, Thought Leadership Roadmap, a training he did 3 or 4 years ago. And he repackaged it for $1, trial for 7 or 14 days, and you can go through the training and then you get all these other bonuses. Then you're into a $99 a month rebill. Now he created new landing pages for the marketing. The training is the exact same. The creation is the exact same. The landing pages are the promotion. If you look back over his launches recently, not any new content, as far as I can tell, any new courses. And maybe 1 or 2 baby ones, but nothing significant. Just repackaging what I've already got. Taking the existing creations and promoting them. So here's the ratio that you may want to aim for as you work towards growing your business. Now, this is the C. This is the P. And this, my lovely friend, is where, I'm going to put it in red with a big bubble around it, is where the magic is at, especially in light of what we're doing, and that is scale. The scale conversation. We have got 36 different sessions of training. And I've told you, if you've been in our mastery community, that each of the trainings from season 2 and 3, I've made a conscious effort to have stand alone as training that will help you with the specific ambition, as well as be part of a bigger package of competency towards the ambition. So for example, in Health, Wealth, and Happiness, you can watch one of our trainings starting from scratch, but then you can watch another training that's talking about money mastery, that reduces stress, overwhelm, and relationship stressors, these kind of things. You see? Those trainings stand alone, but they also work together. In the business side of it, starting from scratch, business internet mastery, doing the break-even conversation, developing offers. What are we going to create? Which is very on point with what we're talking about today. And then this training. Great, how do we do that? And then specific trainings in there. How we developed our big hub with spokes towards our offers, and then how we're putting out value in the world, value exchanging with people, and what's working and what isn't. If you're familiar with my weekly wisdom, that's one big value exchange. I put value out in the world, people ask me questions, a lot of people say, hey Char, can you help me? Does that make sense? That's a value exchange. So we'll break that down for you as we get into this model, but I just want to make sure you're getting the conversation started. My question for you is this. If we took, and you had, and I can only think of a couple of master community members that may have even done this. Yes, Patrick, you're one of them. Lucas might be another. And we said, how much time in total hours have you created content in the last year? I'm thinking of Lucas behind the camera creating videos. I'm thinking of me creating this stuff. And then we took a summation qualifying promotion only, meaning we're not creating new videos per se. We're creating landing pages that convert offers. We might call a sales video a promotional video, so that would fall under the promotion. We might call reaching out to customers to let them know we can help them promotion. A lot of the things we've taught, the one-on-one conversation, going after that. How much time have you dedicated? And let me know if your creation time and your promotion time, if your promotion time in your brain for the last year exceeds your creation time. And I can tell you it hasn't for me. And I can tell you it has to change now. Still in rhythm for creation. Luckily, all the stuff that I have to create for the work we're doing, these videos and our time in the Zoom roundtable and all that, is minuscule compared to the fact that I do have 3, 4, 5x more time available. I have to adjust my schedule, already accommodating for it. For promotion, my goal is to have 3 times promotion time to creation time. That's the bare minimum. And that's what we're aiming for as we start the 4th season of Business Owner Mastery, Health, Wealth, and Happiness Mastery Community. 3 times, just telling you that is so exciting. Because I know in my brain what that's going to look like. I've done the journaling and the research and I think I'm going to be learning Facebook ads. I'm going to be over here learning Google ads, YouTube ads. We're going to be working as a team in the lab. If we have anybody that wants to join me, we already have somebody. And I'm looking forward to it. My man, Lucas, is already in, rocking it out. He's committed. We're going after it. He's going to use his affiliate link and we're going to go after it. So if you have any desire to get into the promotional piece to this, and get the mastery and the chops for this, please, please, please email me and say, Char, I'm interested in the lab. That's what we're calling it, the lab. Because what we're going to be doing is on a weekly basis, trying new things, assessing what worked, assessing what we need to try. This didn't work, let's redo this, retool this, go after it. And then just noting the results. In our Zoom roundtables, my promise to you is that we're going to go through and share the data with you. So you can take pieces of it and run and roll with it. That's the value of the mastery community going into year 4. I'm really excited about that. We'll give that a go for 3-6 months and assess at the end of the year. I always say, you know what, if it wasn't meant to be and it didn't work out, hey, at least we gave it a full go. And if that's the case, we'll make that call then. I kind of think it's going to do something. I hope, maybe. We're going to go after it. For my stuff, my brand. You might feel that too if you've gotten anything out of our work together. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're sensing where this is going, what the possibilities are here. So we've covered a lot in a short period of time already, and I really want to make sure you get this before we dive into more technical tactics. And that is creation versus promotion. The job is, if you think back through our seasonal training, season 3 training, is that we need to create our offers and then the content for it or the coaching program for it. If you're a CHPC, a certified high performance coach, you have got the creation completed. You have got the curriculum done. Your sole job, if that's all you want to do is one-on-one high performance coaching and group coaching, is to promote and to get masterful of it. And we're going to talk through that. Let me give you a couple more illustrations. Liliac, Guns N' Roses. Liliac's just up and coming. Getting 250,000 views on their new video inside a week. Very powerful. They just actually released a newer video last week, and they got 100K views in a couple days. And it was amazing to see. They're gaining momentum. They have really got masterful in the creation process, and they're living into this. They recognize in the music industry, and this is actually a known part of the way music industry works, is there's a promotional cycle and a creative cycle. Imagine that, same words. The creative cycle is where they sit down and create an album, get masterful and own the creation. They're in it to win it, right? Then, and that can take, for Liliac, I think it's taken a few months, and now a few years to go out and promote that album. Tour, releasing of videos, releasing of songs, talking about it with fans, putting it on Instagram, putting on the socials, continually coming at it from different angles, getting on TV shows. They've been on America's Got Talent, they've been on America's Voice, they've been on different programs to promote and grow their audience, grow their business. They've got merchandise that's been created. Now they're promoting it. Does that all make sense? Is this landing for you? Next up, Guns N' Roses. They made an album. I got it on the wall over there. Guns N' Roses, The Appetite for Destruction. They made that in 1986 and 87. Like they actually made it. They did the music of it, 85, 86, 87. But they stamped that sucker out. And inside of 2 years, 3 years of creation, stamped that sucker out. They're still promoting it because it's got such resonance. Mr. Brownstone, Out to Get Me, Sweet Child of Mine, Paradise City, Welcome to the Jungle, all these songs. What I want you to think about is if you're a course creator or a coach, is that your songs is your coaching program. Your song is one of your course modules, or your course, I mean. Your song, in my case, is one of these trainings. Each of these sessions. Think of a season as an album and the sessions as the songs. So I can sell the songs individually, or I can sell them as a season. You following the logic here? But my job very clearly now is to get out and promote. Promote, promote, promote. And again, the charge is being led by the man, Brendan. He isn't making new stuff. I think he said he was going to. I haven't seen any. He's just packaging what he's got in different ways and putting it out there because it's evergreen, teachable content. Much the way that I've built season 2 and 3 of both Health, Wealth, and Happiness and Business Internet Mastery Training. Topical based towards bigger ambitions in each session, each song. And then the album is the season. So literally I have 3 albums of Health, Wealth, and Happiness and 3 albums of Business Internet Mastery. And now it's time to go pick the hits and go out and promote and then get them to buy the album. That all makes sense? Hope that's landing for you. That's why I'm wearing Liliac. Just want to make sure we have inspiration with people that are just on the cusp, following this model of going after grand success, helping the world experience beautiful songs and love, care, and just extreme talent inside of their work. So I'll make sure to link to Nothing, Liliac's video, below. And you can go on their YouTube channel and see all their work if you want. It's kind of hard rock, heavy metal sometimes. It feels a little heavy metalish here and there. But it's got a lot of harmony, a lot of melody. Melody's the lead singer. It's so funny. She says, "My name's Melody, and I got the voice of Melody," and blah, blah. So it's kind of cute. And she just turned 18, and listen to her throat. It's amazing, the voice that comes out of her. That being said, we've covered the creation versus promotion piece. How do we think about the people that we're trying to create, or that we're trying to promote to, and even create for? What does that look like? So Lucas, he sent me a link to something like this, and he said, "Char, have you ever thought about teaching your awareness, leads, and sales inside of this concentric circle, much like the Golden Circle by Simon Sinek?" And I said, "I used to teach it that way, actually." So I'm going to follow that model with Lucas's inspiration or re-inspiration for that. Thank you, my man, for helping me out. And I want to build out from the middle outward. So when we create, we're building something to sell. Think of the album. The album is the thing we're selling. That's the exchange of value. So at the center of this, we have to be really clear about building something to create and making sure it's world class. And we've spent a certain amount of time doing that. That's what we've gone over here. We move out of circle. Now we have to go to sell it. If you go back into our trainings, you'll see there's many mechanisms that have worked for me and others. 1 is going through the one-on-one conversation. 2 is leveraging some of the content we've created, clipping pieces of it, song samples, if you will, and putting them out in video at an awareness level in YouTube, in Facebook as a video clip, in TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, in Instagram and Facebook stories as clips. The arc for awesomeness, you like that? The arc for awesomeness is to do that work consistently over the long term, testing and measuring, improving and removing. This is where everybody, including myself, have fallen off. This is the first year, 2020 is the first year that I have consistently, without stopping, put posts on social, in our group, in our page, posts in our group multiple times per week, posts in our page every day, posts in our group almost every day, emails every week. For those who don't open, they get them again on Tuesday. If they don't open on Tuesday, they get them again on Thursday with different titles. Like, the math is in there. Seeing tremendous result from stepping into promotion in those realms. Tremendous result. It's just amazing to see what's happening. So we have awareness, leads, sales, and our creations to sit in the middle. What we're doing, sometimes Patrick has said in his work, that's the deliverables. We're working towards the deliverables. Sometimes I refer to that as the fulfilling of said product purchased, right? Giving them the album with the songs on it. Helping them, hey, if you're having a problem here, listen to this ballad first, then listen to this song, pump your energy up. Giving them guidance on what to listen to inside of what you've created. Or working through the high performance coaching process. Very structured, very all-inclusive. We just have to bring our being and our vibrance and our zest into it. So I hope this model helps. Let me kind of break this down because this may be new language for you if you've never heard of awareness, leads, and sales. Awareness is where we're just putting out into the world content, video, text, pictures, quote cards, whatever it is, in a consistent way. Emails even. Although emails would require we have their email address. Leads is where people have said, hey, I'm interested in getting more information from you. I'm interested in learning how you can help me. And they've either given us an email address that's made us non-anonymous. They've given us their phone number to call them. They've texted us. They've messaged us in Facebook. They've said, hey, Char, I'm raising my hand here, or whatever for you. I'm raising my hand here. I need some help. Please help me. Does that all make sense? Sales is where they say, hey, you know what? Yeah, definitely need your help. Can I purchase coaching package? Can I purchase your membership? Can I get in and go? And then they're a customer in the middle, and they're consuming, value exchanging with your creation. Does that all make sense? So now the fun part. There's 5 different categories that you have to apply this to. You ready for this? This is where the magic happens. This is where, when you say, Char, what do I do to promote? This is what your job is. You up for this? You know, before we get into this, if you're seated, stand. Let's stretch. Move our body. I know I'm throwing a lot at you. This is helping me as much as it is you. Bounce in place. Take some deep breaths. We'll do 3. Why are we doing this? Brain grooves when the body moves. Thanks to Jim Quick. You got to move your body to learn. You just got to. So getting the energy, getting the oxygenation, getting out of this, oh, I get it, Char, creation versus promotion. Awareness, leads, and sales. And I got creations I got to sell. I got an album I got to go out and promote. Don't know what that looks like. That's why we're here. Here's the thing. 5 different types of people that you're doing these things with. The awareness piece. First is the lost. Second is the learners. Third is the shoppers. Fourth is the buyers. And 5th, customers for life. So I'm going to walk you through this, and I'm going to break down what's worked for me and what people have self-reported with me. And I'm going to start over here at customers. People who are my customers love the fact that from a lead perspective, they're being made aware of other things that I offer that can help them grow their business or improve their life. So let me kind of illustrate that for you. I have other creations, other things that I offer that can help my customers, depending on how they are a customer of mine, improve their life, grow their business. So keep in mind, I've had an internet business since 1995. Internet Services Group is the brand name now. It used to be Internet Services. It was a bigger approach in the 90s up until we sold that part of the brand in 2000. Now, people that know me for websites, marketing, strategy, vision, plan in that realm, are they a candidate? Should they be made aware of my high-performance coaching? Under the principle that, and I'll kind of give you a hint here, every business needs high performance. When you get clear, get energized, get courageous, understand the levels of influence, you have better relationships with customers. It's just a no-brainer in my mind. And I got to tell you, the people that have done it, they're on it. They're like, dude, I didn't even know. So I've had customers since the zeros that are like high-performance clients now, and they're going to a whole new level. They wouldn't have known that if I didn't work through these channels with my existing customers. So my question for you, and I know this can get deep and confusing, is with everything you offer, all your different creations, are you consistently helping your customers be aware of them and understand how that can help them too, if it applies to what they're doing or what their ambitions are? So what are you doing strategically to create awareness with your customers of other things you offer? What are you doing to get them in the conversation and convert them as a lead into those things? And I'll tell you how that works in a minute. What are you doing to create a sale with them? And what are you doing to get them to consume and use your creation? Be part of your creation. You follow? I hope you're sensing how this works. So a great example of this, the people here, and that's just for the sake of this illustration, say that they're my internet customers. They only know me for website design, development, and marketing continuity. I say, hey, you know what? Let's talk about your business for a while, because it's time to reassess what we're doing online to assure it's aligned with what's your most profitable, most fulfilling, most desirable part of your business. Would you mind taking my business assessment, which is in my other business, that's Internet Services Group, Setup, Development, Marketing, Continuity. Then they go into Life and Business Success Group and they type in their email address for the business assessment. It's a downloadable 7-part assessment that helps them think through things that they need to pay attention to, that help us and inform us on how to do their internet work. They do that. Cool. Now they're a lead converted for the creation of the business assessment. Char, I didn't have any idea that recurring revenue was so important. And I can have that, and I do have that in my business, but I've never put any attention to it. Didn't understand the idea of that could be break even. And then I could, what? So I've had a lot of people in the internet business, clients of mine for years, take that and then pivot. And a couple of them reported they hit break even with recurring revenue because they made attention around it. And it's given them more time freedom, more financial freedom, more personal freedom. And that excites me to no end. And I hope it excites you. You see how this kind of works? I just want to make sure that we're getting that avenue for you. So the idea is now these customers that are in the business realm, let's talk about life for a little bit. Are you clear about how you want your business to help you have a better life? Are you clear about what a better life is? Are you feeling purposeful in your life? Are your relationships where you want them to be? Boom. Take my life assessment. Do the 10-day health, wealth, and happiness challenge. I've made awareness around that. I've sent them to places to become leads, meaning they've qualified themselves. Char, I'm taking your 10-day health, wealth, and happiness. Char, I got your life assessment. To make a sale, boom. If you want more help there, the highest level of that, without doing one-on-one or group coaching or one-on-one coaching, is our mastery community. Would you enjoy being part of that? So I can help you there as well in the realm of the creations that I have in the world, that value exchange for you. Is this too deep? Is this going over your head? Boy, is this a lot of work. And that's just for existing customers if you're blessed to have them. If you go into business assessment, we spend a lot of time in there working your current and past customers. That's a big chunk, a big part of that whole assessment piece. This is part of that. What new creations do you have, or what existing creations do you have that you go out to people you already know who've already bought from you and say, I got something new, and here's what the ambition is, and here's how I can help you. And sometimes we call that a pivot email or a pivot message. You know me for this, now I'm doing this. And if you need help formulating yours, it's actually pretty easy. Hey guys, I'm ultra passionate about this. I'm blessed to be a certified high performance coach. Here's what it can do for you. You know me for these things. Here's how it can fit into what you know me for. And I'd love to entertain and talk through this. Schedule your 20-minute discovery call by going here. You could go to Calendly or any of those online services and create an online calendar. They can book their own session. Done. Boom. That's the customers for life piece. Our job as we think through our training this season is to bring in recurring revenue where we can. And I'm the huge proponent of the fact that you can bring it in almost everywhere. It's just whether you believe it and whether you want to do that. Cool? All right. Let's go back through the spectrum. All the way over here, we have the lost. Then we have the learners, shoppers, buyers, and we've already gone over customers. Who are the lost and how do they fit into that? Take a moment and think about that. These are people who happen to stumble upon you or what you do, and they recognize pretty quickly, A, they don't like you. You're not a good fit for them. B, that isn't really what I wanted. C, hey, you know what? Thought I wanted this. And I did do some talk with you, but actually I don't really want this. And they leave. They're the lost. And so we do awareness work. And if we get explicit on why we're doing what we're doing, and we acknowledge struggle, and we go after ambition, a lot of what we've been teaching comes from the persuasion formula, session 10 of high performance coaching. We're very clear, it's ultra clear to the people here that this is or isn't for them. If you're going after the buyers in your landing pages and text and just say, hey, here's what I got, buy it. We don't inform the people of the loss. And guess what? We end up attracting customers who are what? Problematic. How many of you have had customers, if you've been in business for any amount of time, that you're like, why did I accept this person or this company as a customer? I'm one of them. It's because I did not do a good enough job of qualifying my customers and recognizing some of them are the lost or the non-compatibles in my space. So what I'm trying to tell you is that the natural progression of these, if they're worded right, and your creations, will repel some and attract others. The repellent people, is that a word, repellent people, are the lost. So let's step into the learners. People may not know they need what you have. They may be coming at it with a different search phrase. For example, people that, great example I always have used in my speeches when I was giving workshops and presentations online, is people actually search, I want to share information on the internet. This is especially prevalent back in the 90s and early zeros. They didn't know they needed a web page. They didn't know they needed a website. They didn't know anything about the web. They thought that was for spiders. So we had to go after, learn phrases in ads and in copy that talked about how to share information on the internet. Oh, you need a web page. You need a website. It comes with an address you can send people to learn more. Or they can type it in or search for it as search became popular. Believe it or not, there was a time when Google wasn't around. And Lycos, Alta Vista, Yahoo was major search engines back in the mid to late 90s. And so we had to help people understand that you may know what you're selling, but how well of a job are you doing at coming after the learn phrases? And what are you doing to generate continual awareness to the learners? So I know this is pretty abstract. Let's bring it down. Great example of going after the learners is taking the top 10 to 15 questions for each of your creations and making one video per question. Question is the actual title of the video. You may run that through YouTube's TubeBuddy as a program you can use to see where the phrasing is sweet, what other videos have gotten good results by the way the question's worded, so you can model that. And then you answer those and you put them out over time. If it's 10 questions, every Tuesday at 7 a.m. I'm debuting a new question. Let your audience know. If they sign up and they become a lead, meaning they've given you an email address, it becomes part of your weekly email. They're part of your, like what I have, weekly wisdom. Hey guys, got this question. Here's the answer. Enjoy. If you have any other questions, let me know. I'm filming questions and answers all the time. And you have a rhythm with helping the learners understand. Because you're the person there helping them gain competency, exchanging value with them. Are they more apt to move up this path, closer to the center of your bullseye, to buy your creation? What do you think? Definitely. So many people, when they're in promotion, forget about the learners. They spend a lot of time going after the buyers. Brendan will tell you this in terms of his results. It takes 90 days, 180 days, even up to 2 years before people that he's promoted to and send information out or run ads against to get into his sales funnel. And he's okay with that. But that's because he's dedicated to it consistently over the long term. He knows the cycle. I remember talking to people who bought a $60,000 level 2 mastermind and saying, I was working in the gym, watching YouTube on this hotel gym. They had YouTube on it, and Brendan's video came up, and I'm like, yeah, that was interesting. I clicked it. Within a week, I bought his program. I got into his mastermind. Brendan said, so from everything you've shared, you've bought $80,000 worth of material for me because of a YouTube video that happened to pop up while you were working out. Yes. Ugh. If that isn't catalyst for you to get on board with a consistent promotional, if you're a thought leader or a coach, a consistent promotional schedule where you're putting information out for the learners, which is the biggest untapped market ever. When you really think about all these different categories, that's where your massive growth can be. So if there's one takeaway for you in this training today, think about your promotions for the learners. It's endless. If you need ideas, that's what our roundtable is for. Jump in and let's go. I'll brainstorm with you. I'll show you stuff on the big screen that'll help you. We'll be able to go out and see what the people that are your customers are searching for and how you can meet them in the form of social media, YouTube, content, in places where you can just be a participant or have a listing, and then poof, you show up for them. Oh, I didn't know you were a coach. I didn't know you could help me with that. Done. You can leverage the content you create for your existing audience, the people who have already given you an email address. So the idea in the learners market is, what are you doing to generate awareness consistently? What are you doing? What is the next step for them at a learner level to have them give you an email address so that you can build a relationship with them, moving them into the bullseye to purchase a creation from you that you already have. That's not sitting on a shelf, sitting in a product in Kajabi that is just collecting dust, figuratively, if it's in Kajabi, right? What needs to be unearthed, pulled out, and promoted? Anything there for you? Maybe it's a book. Maybe it's an ebook. Maybe it's a video series where you train people on how to do something. How to is where the money's at. Next up, shoppers. I think you're getting the gist. People are in learn mode. They don't really know what they need. You're a candidate. Shoppers are more informed typically as you move across the spectrum. They're more informed and they're a little smarter about their searching. Hey, you know what? I do need some form of a coach. And I just want to be better in life. And okay, a life coach. Now, I want accountability, but I want more. Okay, what's this coaching, what's high performance, peak performance? Boom. They're in the shop mode. Know they need a coach, not sure who they need. Are you a candidate if you're a high performance coach? Most likely. How are you showing up for them at an awareness level? What are the questions shoppers use? And there's a spectrum of shoppers. People that are uninformed shoppers, they're almost in the learn spectrum. The difference between learners and shoppers is that these people may or may not have an intention to buy. Shoppers have an intention to buy. So at the front end of the shopper market, they're just using generic phrase, life coach. At the other end of it, they're typing your name. They're in the almost buy stage. They're like, Charly Caldwell, who's he? I heard about him. I need to coach with him because he does entrepreneurial work and he's demonstrated tremendous results and success and stuff like that. They're in shop mode. So we have to think about, going back to this grid, how are we promoting to the shoppers? What's the awareness we're putting out? What's the lead incentives look like? What are they buying? What's the creations that we have for the shopper? What do we need to add or to adjust? What's the marketing messaging for the shoppers? You follow where this logic goes? Next is the buyers. People are so hot to buy what you got. They just don't know you got it. Or they know what you got and they just need a little bit of, a little push. Dude, I absolutely need, I'm starting a business. I know I need your starting from scratch training, and I know I need the ways you're creating sales, mastering sales conversation, another thing from this season. And I know that I need to understand how you're doing that continual value through the weekly wisdom, because you've sorted it out. It's super easy compared to what I thought I had to do for an weekly email. I know I need all that. Okay, here's your next step to move from a lead to a sale. Press this button, pay, and then you're going to consume my creation. Go. We've talked a lot about that. So as you think about what we've shared, all the way through the spectrum, how are we talking to the lost? Hey, you know what? Here's what I have. If you're struggling with these things, here's what I'm about. Here's who I am. Yeah, something about that person, that guy, that girl doesn't resonate with me. That's not actually what I want. I'm the lost. I'm out. The learners, ooh, okay, got it. Didn't know about that. Do need to know about that. Didn't know about in our health, wealth, and happiness training today, the connection between sleep, hydration, and eating nutrient rich. And then moving our body and taking breaks. Huh, the 10-day health, wealth, and happiness challenge sure is helping me, Char. Got some more for me? Sure do. Let's talk about that. What do you got for me? Well, got a few things for you. Got the one-on-one high performance coaching. I've got health, wealth, and happiness mastery. 3 seasons. I would start you on season 3, starting from scratch. You'll have access to all these other things. Here's your other 2 moves to start with. Go ahead and click here if you want to buy. than the buyer side. Okay, know that I need what you got. What's the next step? Or I don't know I need what you have, but I'm in buy mode. I'm ready to buy something. What do you got for me? And that can be in the form of an ad in YouTube. I'm going to hunt for this thing that I got to get to take my life or business to the next level. So my question for you is, do you have YouTube ads? Do you have Facebook ads? Do you have Google ads? LinkedIn ads, Twitter ads, all kinds of ads. Have you tested and measured any of that in the promotional part for anybody in the spectrum, learners, shoppers, buyers? Have you been letting your customers know? Got other things for you. Here's what that looks like. If you want to get into that funnel or flow, click here and fill out this, do this, get this assessment, take the 10-day health, wealth, and happiness challenge. I'm telling you all this stuff, and here's what I know. I've been doing a very poor job at these things because I've been living here with a little bit of Pete. Now it's all about the promotion, and it's time to just shelf and hold with the creations that we've got. I'm maintaining new creations, meaning that I am required by the contract, if you want to call it that, for our health, wealth, and happiness monthly mastery, business internet monthly mastery community to make new content every month. But that doesn't take up a lot of time for me. I have got time allocated in my future schedule for promotion. Promotion, promotion, promotion. 3 times the amount of time I do in creative per week, we're doing in promotion per week. Just so you have a frame, creative is about 3-4 hours a week, because I do a lot of other things in the sense of creating ancillary things for my work. What's that mean? If we did 3 hours times 3, 9 hours dedicated per week in promotion, you think we're going to get somewhere with that? So I hope with everything we've reviewed, I've drilled the importance of the creation versus promotion conversation. I've shown you and illustrated people just starting down that path of really going into promotion, Liliac, through Guns N' Roses, through Brendan. And you just watch his marketing, you'll see this happening. The awareness, lead sales, and creation connected to the spectrum of people and how you have to develop campaigns for each of them and go after that realm. So I didn't get into a lot of detail here. There's so much I could teach and train you on that. If you have specific questions, please ask below. If you need more help or assistance, please let me know, and I'll be more than happy to go over that. With that being said, we're done with the training aspect of it. Our beautiful work today. Business not growing, here's why and exactly what to do. I hope we've lived into that. Now it's time to take decisive action. What do? You have to assess your creation versus promo time. Where are you at? Did that exercise in our work today? Looking back over the last year, how much time you've been creating? How much time, and it should be 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 times the creation time, have you done promoting? And we go back to the training in our season about the ways you can promote. One-on-one, email marketing, funnels, flow, these kind of things. Second, what are 3 ways you need to grow with what I've shared? And please be sure to share that. If you don't want to share it publicly, that's fine. Meaning in the comments, share it with me via email, because that'll be a catalyst for our next check-in session. Third, draw your dream a week, month after you create. So what does your dream look like? What's your dream day, your dream week? Got my creation. Now I'm going to go out in the world and promote it. Maybe the first week, I'm going to make some calls. I'm going to do what Charlie's talked about, the persuasion formula with, I got something for you, and here's your first 3 big moves if you're ready to get started. We have that in our June 29th? I don't know what day it is. It's the last June Zoom Roundtable. I put the PDF in there for you that you can use after every discovery call that results in more sales. But it requires you to engineer your discovery call a certain way. And we talk about that in that Zoom Roundtable. Fourth, brainstorm ways you're going to bring newness into your new rhythms. Talked about this at the very beginning. When Brendan's going through his promotional work, he doesn't say, I'm going to try this again. I'm going to try it again. He's like, what new ways can I bring in? New avenues can I try? New techniques can I talk through in my offer videos and stuff like that? New ways of filming to make this feel new and have novelty to it. Not the same old message again and again, because we get blindness. We call that ad blindness. I've already saw that. And they actually pull it away as it does less and less result. Facebook does in their algorithm. What are you doing? What are you going to do to brainstorm new ways? A couple ideas for you. One, schedule time at the beginning of every month to brainstorm 5 to 10 new ways to bring newness in. I'll give you a big hint. If you have existing courses right now and you have a baby course, try putting it in Teachable, Skillshare. There's a couple others that I have on my list. Just other platforms where you can put your courses in there to get in alignment. Create something. I'm trying to think of the name of that one. Creativity Live, maybe? Creativity Live. Maybe check on that. See what it takes for you to put your courses in these other places. And just put one in there and see if, because of the community they've created, if you can get them into your creation. And then you can, if you do the work that I've always taught, the very last module of your course, what to do next. Hey, if you love this, I got something else for you. Go to this website, fill out this application, and I'll give you the next step for you. If you like the way I teach and train, more for you there. How's that for a takeaway if you got a course already? Yeah. Or just build a course and put it in there under the principles of what you're teaching anyway. Does that make sense? Like, that's a new and novel way. We're going to be on that. So, and then finding number 5, share what you're up to. Share what's working, what isn't. That's the whole premise of the lab, as we call it, as we're moving into third quarter here and just really going after the second half of this year. As of the recording of this, going into a big scale conversation, but changing behavioral patterns there. So with all that being said, I hope that I've helped you live into these beautiful 5 Ps: purpose, passion, positivity, productivity, profitability. I hope I've opened up perspective for you on what we believe to be maybe true versus what the reality is for the big guys when you're ready to really go after it. And some examples, Liliac, love those guys and gals. And then this circle, this bullseye, if you want to call it that, of your creation, surrounded by sales, surrounded by leads, surrounded by awareness. One thing I want to make sure of is you can take clips of your creations and put them out as awareness. Where I teach a piece of this here, I could put that out as awareness, its own standalone digestible piece of content, which it might have been just this piece where I talked about this, and say there's more from where that came from, learn about it over here. So when you have creations, go back through it, parse out value clips, emotional upticks. Then make sure that we're hitting the spectrum. The lost, the learners, the shoppers, the buyers, the customers. And making sure that we're making a diligent effort to have our customers aware of other things we offer in a consistent, continual fashion. That being said, thank you so much. Hope to stir up some things for you. If you're ready to have a vision, strategy, and planning meeting about this, or talk about it, that's what our Zoom Roundtable is for. I'll see you there in just a little bit. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. I think we crushed it. Rock! Yeah!